Hello there, this is Elsa, and today's lesson is going to be about count and non-count nouns, the rules, and also when we use a and n, when we use some and any. I hope you find this presentation very useful. The article n, sorry, something happened here. The article a and n means only one. So we use the article a or n for singular count nouns. Examples: banana is a countable noun, so I can use the article a because it means one. Orange, orange is a countable noun because I can say one orange, two oranges, three oranges. Because I can count them by units, I can use the article n rather from if I want to express or I want to say that it is only one orange. Now, notice that I use a with words that begins with consonants, and I will use n with words that begins with vowels. Now, I can never use a or n right in front of a uncountable noun because the rule in English is that uncountable nouns never have a number before or articles a or n, and we can never put an s or make a plural with these nouns. As you see here, I have a furniture and information, and I cross it because that means that that will be incorrect. And the explanation is below that, and it says that because furniture and information are uncountable nouns, I can never put an a before that. The word some. In English, we use the word some with affirmative sentences, with plural, countables, or uncountable nouns, but always with affirmative sentences. In very, very few occasions, to make some questions, like if we want to offer something, we can use the word some, and we are actually, it's very common to use the word some. But for this lesson, we are not going to talk about that topic. We're only going to focus uh, with this type of sentences, affirmative sentences, when we don't want to mention the number of the items, we use the word some. And remember, the key to make good sentences is that we need to remember that we use some in affirmative sentences. For example, let's get some potatoes. Let's get some apples. Let's get some milk. Potatoes, apples, and milk are different kind of nouns, but as you see, they are all affirmative sentences. Now, with the word any, we use any to make negative sentences or to make questions with countable or uncountable nouns. Examples: do we need any potatoes? The word potatoes is countable, but look, we are making a sentence, so I need to use the word any. Sometimes we can avoid the word any too, and that it will be fine. Do we need any lettuce? Do we need lettuce? I can say that too. Okay, but we just want to know and learn how are the different ways that we use this word. So lettuce is an uncountable noun, and I'm using any. With negative sentences, I don't need any potatoes. I don't need any lettuce. To review, we use any to make questions and also to make negative sentences. Now this will be the summary of the lesson. Countable nouns in singular, affirmative sentences, we use a and n. With plural countable nouns, we can use some, and with uncountable nouns, we use some. And the tick that you see here green, that means affirmative. Now, with negative sentences, we can use in singular sentences, negative sentences a, singular. With plural countable nouns, and if the sentence is negative, we use any. And with uncountable nouns, negative sentences, we use any. We can make questions with also a and n with countable singular nouns, any with countable plural nouns, and uncountable nouns, we use any to make questions. So you can review this slide, and you see on the top the thick green mark. The X means negative, and you can see the question mark here to guide you better. So also to summarize and remember this rule, uncountable nouns. We're going to review the rules of uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns, also called non-count nouns and mass nouns, are those nouns that cannot be made plural. So we're never going to put an S at the end of the word. For example, furniture is an uncountable noun, and we can never say furnitures. We're never going to put an article right in front of an uncountable noun. So I can never say a furniture. Cannot be used with numbers. I can never say 3 furnitures or 3 furniture. That is impossible. The only way that I can use the word furniture is this way. If you see in this room, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of furniture. And just imagine that you have all this furniture in a room. So I can create this sentence. The room is full of furniture. Or also I can say the room has a lot of furniture. If you notice, I didn't put a number right in front of the word furniture or the article, any article. And also I didn't put any S at the end. Here I have a list of some countable food names. And you see all this list contains countable nouns because I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of all these items. These items over here, they have plurals. The only one that is a little different is the noodle because noodles is a countable noun, But um, a lot of people get confused because some students ask me, we cannot count one noodle, two noodles, three noodles if we have that in the plate. No, and of course, if you have the noodles in your plate, you're not going to count them. But remember that we are looking at grammar. We are not looking at things sometimes that if make sense or they don't make sense. We try to make sense of the language, but sometimes it's a little difficult because someone can tell me, "Hey, I can count the rice, uh, but also I cannot count the noodles." But in this situation, for grammar purposes, we need to learn this in this way. So noodles are and rice is. Rice is delicious. Noodles are delicious. And I can count the noodle because if I drop one noodle on the floor, I can say, hey, look, there is a noodle on the floor. So noodle is countable. Here I have the list of some uncountable nouns. Also, you notice still we're talking about food here. And the other one that I would like to point out is the word chicken. Uh, Chicken, when we are talking about the meat, we are not going to use the word as with plural. We're not going to use the word, we're never going to put an S in chickens when we talk about the meat. But if we're going to, let's pretend we are in a farm and then we are counting chickens, they are alive and they're moving as a whole thing, then we talk about, we can put plurals like one chicken, two chickens. Um, Also, when we're talking about the whole chicken, but if we are talking about that you have the meat in your plate or you're going to buy meat, like beef and fish or pork, we don't consider that in English grammar as a countable, so they will be uncountable. There are a couple of words that change a little bit. That sometimes we use them uh, as countables and sometimes as uncountable. But I will create another lesson about that. Right now, I would like you to focus on this. And I hope that I was able to clarify some of your doubts and that you find this video very useful. And I will talk to you soon.